Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I know this little setup is different. I have moved my room around once again, but I kind of like this setup. I'm gonna put pictures up here eventually. And then as far as lighting goes, this lighting is not my favorite at all. My ring light broke and I'm waiting on the one that I ordered to come in off of Amazon. So gotta love that. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about gaslighting and reactive abuse. I was supposed to upload this video last week, but then my schedule was absolutely freaking crazy. I ended up losing my notes that I took, like a whole thing. So anyway, sorry for this video being late, but here it is now. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to stop rambling and let's jump into it. What is reactive abuse? The reason it is called reactive abuse is because it is the way that you choose to react to the abuse that you are being dealt. So the abuser is obviously abusing you. Doesn't matter what kind. Your reaction in that moment of how you're going to handle what is being dealt to you is reactive abuse. For example, yelling back at the abuser, you giving the abuser silent treatment, screaming at your abuser, or shaming your abuser. The abuser always wants a negative reaction from you that in the end, when it's all said and done, they can flip it around and justify them abusing you due to your reaction that you gave them. It is also their way of justifying you being the problem and not them. So in this situation, that would mean that the abuser is now manipulating you and they are also gaslighting you. So the gaslighting comes into play when you tell them, I reacted by yelling, I reacted by crying because you did X, Y, and Z to me. Then the abuser will then flip it around on you and they are now going to just deny any accusations that you are accusing them of. Reactive abuse is a defense mechanism for the abuser so that they can gain control of the situation. I talked about the abuser gaining control in the situation. Remember, they always have to be in control. Doesn't matter what it is. I could go on and on and on about this, but once you realize that at the end of the day, that's all that an abuser cares about, is being in control. I said the abuser wants a negative reaction from you. So they will literally do anything. They will name call, like be physical with you. In any of these situations, it is absolutely unacceptable. You have to make sure that you do not give them the negative reaction that they want, because they're going to use that against you. So making sure that you stay calm, cool, and collective, being nice, literally killing them with kindness, really just keeping your composure. And once you can master the art of not letting them get under your skin and really just saying, you know what, okay, I understand that you're angry, I understand that I have upset you in any way, shape, or form, or if you don't feel like you're in the wrong, saying, you know what, I don't think that in this moment we should continue this conversation because you are being extremely, rude, you're raising your voice. I just don't want any part of that. So I'm going to end the conversation right now and I'm going to walk away, and then later we can come back and we can talk about this like two grown adults. So again, the reactive abuse and gaslighting is the abuser's way of justifying how they are. So they will say things like, well, this is just how I am, or I've always been like this, as well as justify any negative behaviors that they may be showing you as well. For example, saying rude things, literally, rude things all the time. All the time. It's like those things that, example, being in a relationship with someone, saying rude things, and it's just like, why would you say that to someone that you're dating? You know, and it just kind of like, it's like little jabs that they're taking at you, and then they sit back and they're like, oh my god, you're being so sensitive. You know, it's those type of things that they will do. Another thing is cheating. Cheating is a big no-no. Like, why be in a relationship if you're going to cheat? They will, again, try and justify them cheating because you did X, Y, and Z back in the day, or you did this and that, and in return that made them, which, mind you, you cannot physically make someone do anything that they do not want to do, you know. So keeping that in mind and not allowing them to try and convince you, because at the end of the day, again, that is what they want. They want you to think that you're in the wrong. They want you to doubt yourself. And if you know, and if you're well aware of yourself, you know that you're not the problem. You know in your heart that they're the problem. They will justify lying. They will justify talking to their ex, you know, stuff like that. So you need to make sure you do not allow anyone to have that type of control over you. Do not allow someone to make you second guess yourself, because if you allow them to be able to come into your life, and before they came into your life, let me say this, you were completely fine, your mental health was completely fine, you weren't having anxiety, all these things, you were fine before they came into your life, and then they come into your life and it's just like a shit show now. Everything is just like turned completely upside down. You are having panic attacks, you're super depressed, you're sleeping all the time, you might have formed an eating disorder, like all these things. You need to reevaluate the situation and really look and like be honest with yourself and say, you know what, my life was not like this before this person came into my life. Weed those people out and get rid of them, because they're no good for anyone. And I'm speaking from experience. I've had it happen to me, and especially my last relationship, it was just like, before we started dating, I was completely fine. Like, I was so happy and just like this little bundle of joy, you know. I didn't have a care in the world. I was fine. When I started dating this person, I instantly saw a shift in my mental health. I was super anxious, like super anxious, and he would do things to drive me to be even more anxious. For example, he thought this was like so funny, and it's actually really sick and twisted that he was like this, but he would be driving, because he hated when I drove. Like, it was just like a big no-no. So he would be driving in his truck, we'd be going down the road, and he loved like going super fast. I don't like that. Just not me. Like, why are you speeding, you know? And it was in areas where you weren't really supposed to speed, you know. There were definitely kids were in the street playing sometimes, you know, so it wasn't an area where no one should have been speeding. Literally just fly down the road, and then at the end of the road there was like a curve, and then act like he was just going to like just floor it around, and that would obviously cause me anxiety, because I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck are you doing, you know? Like, why are you speeding and you're supposed to be slowing down around a sharp turn? Another thing, we would also be going down the highway, and he would literally like act like he was gonna like turn his wheel into another car, and he would literally just think that was the funniest thing in the world. And I'm sitting in the passenger seat like, oh my god, what if he like literally does that and kills us? And he would do this all the time. Those things are just, you have to understand, these type of people are literally sick in the head. That's not something normal. Any normal person who's mentally stable would do. A healthy person does not do these types of things. So again, that is just a couple examples of what I have dealt with Next, we have gaslighting. I'm really going to dive into what gaslighting is. To put it in simple terms, gaslighting is a form of manipulation. The goal of someone who is gaslighting is for them to brainwash their victim so that the victim will now doubt their perception of anything and everything that happened. Remember that an abuser, a gaslighter, in my situation, they were both one person. They want you to lose your sense of self, identity, and self-worth. They want you to doubt your intuition and solely go off of what they tell you, not what you believe, what they tell you actually happened and their version of what they believe. If you obviously stand up for yourself and say, like, for example, I believe I mentioned this in my last video, but it is a good example and it's super simple to understand as well. So if you go to the store and you know you bought 4 chocolate milks, okay? You go in the refrigerator and you put the 4 chocolate milks in there, you just went grocery shopping, whatever, you close it, you come back 2 days later, you go to grab one of your chocolate milks and you realize that you only have 2 left. That's 4. You only have 2 chocolate milks left. You would then go to your abuser or gaslighter and ask them, hey, so-and-so, did you drink 2 of my chocolate milks? You know, just asking. And your gaslighter or abuser would look you dead in the face and say, no, I didn't drink any chocolate milk. I didn't even know we had any in the fridge. You know, something along the lines of that. And you would tell them like, oh, really? Because I know that I bought 4 chocolate milks from the store the other day and now there's only 2 in the refrigerator. They're going to look you in your face and convince you, or try to convince you, that no, you did not buy 4, you only bought 2. And then that's when you're like, oh, did I only buy 2? I could have sworn I bought 4. And then they're literally going to continue to try and convince you that you only bought 2, even though the gaslighter and the abuser, same person, knows for a fact that they indeed had 2 of your chocolate milks while you were gone from the house, but they're lying, obviously, and they want you to just completely be oblivious that they are lying to you, because that's not something they want, and they want you to believe that you only bought 2 chocolate milks at the store. So that is also an example. Your goal for someone who is gaslighting is manipulation. They are going to manipulate you into getting whatever it is that they want. And in order for them to do that, they have to brainwash you. These people also want you to hit rock bottom. That is what they want. You could be so aware of yourself. You could be so, self-confident, all these things. When you bring these people into your life, whether it is friends, it could be family members, it could be dating, as it was in my situation, these people want you to have a low self-worth and they want you to have a low self-esteem so that you can solely depend on them. And then when they can't get what they want from you, or you don't give them what you were giving them before, they will completely just discard you. So these people are literally users. They use people into getting things out of them. I've seen it. I've had it done to me. I personally know people like this that I am speaking about in my personal day-to-day life, that are like this, and it's sad, it's disgusting. Obviously, I have distanced myself from these people because it's not anything that I want. This type of behavior is not anything that I want in my life. And seeing it done to not only me and going through it, but knowing that it's going on to other people, is really, really, really disgusting. And it's just really sad. At the end of the day, we have to realize that these people, even though they are older, They could be in their 20s, they could be in their 30s, they could be in their 40s. You know, at the end of the day, these people are still childlike. So it doesn't matter the age, they're still acting as if they were children, if that makes sense. So they're still going to do things or act out as if a child, as like a 5-year-old would act out. And that is the biggest takeaway. One of the biggest takeaways for me personally is their reaction. No matter if it's a tantrum, like a full-blown tantrum. In my situation, that's what it was. And he would blame it on him having bipolar depressive aggressive disorder, I believe. And no, we're not going there. Okay, I could tell you that right now. No. And again, he would use all of these like outbursts and yelling and screaming and punching things and punching holes in the wall or door, whatever, countless times. I can't even count how many times I witnessed him having these outbursts where he was punching things, where he was screaming, where he was literally like stomping his feet. All of these things are things that you would see younger children doing. Just remembering that these people, there's something obviously wrong with them, and that they want you to react. They want you to have that low self-esteem. They want you to feel bad for them. They want to guilt trip you. All of these things, at the end of the day, do not feed into it. And I can say this until I'm blue in the face. Until you go through something like this situation or like the things that I'm talking about, until you personally go through it, witness it done to you or someone else, you're not really going to know. But it's a really good thing to educate yourself on the situation so that if you are put in these situations, you know what to do and you can pick up on, oh, this person is manipulating me, or they're gaslighting me, or they're trying to, you know, give me a little bit of reactive abuse. Now I'm going to go into ways someone can gaslight you. So the first one being when you say something or think something, this person cannot sit in a space for you and be there for you. They withhold being able to sit in a space for you. So they, even though you think that you guys are having a conversation, they could be thinking about something completely different. Like, oh my God, I really wish she'd stop talking. I'm ready to go eat. Like things like that. And then when you ask them a question about what it is that you were talking about, they're like, oh wait, what did you say? And they will look at you like that. I've had it done to me multiple times. For example, they might say things like, here we go again, and roll their eyes or like try and brush it off. Or you will bring up something that they have promised that they wouldn't do multiple times, because we all know they always promise that they're not going to do something and then they end up doing it again. And then when you confront them about, hey, this is the second time or the third time or whatever, however many times you've done this, they'll say, oh, here you go again. Why are you saying this? Why are you bringing this up yet again? Things like that. Sometimes they may refuse to listen to what you have to say. They might also make you feel bad for you having your feelings hurt. They might make you feel bad and tell you, well, it's your fault that I said this and that to you. Even though your feelings are hurt, they may completely discard it or ignore the fact that, let's say you're crying, because my ex did this again all the time. He would make me cry, and then in return he would literally just either show absolutely no emotion at all or completely ignore the fact that I was crying or upset about something, and just go off to do whatever it is that he would go off and do. And this is a form of them not wanting to take responsibility for what you're trying to put in front of them. This is their way of ducking and dodging what you had to say. Them constantly trying to flip what you have to say or how you feel. Constantly ask you questions to make you start doubting yourself. So going back to the 4 chocolate milks. So you buy 4 chocolate milks to work on, they're not in the refrigerator anymore. You go and ask them, they're going to then in return ask you, are you sure? Are you sure you bought 4? Are you really sure that you bought 4? And you're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I know for a fact I bought 4. And then that I'm positive I bought 4 will then turn into, well, I think I bought 4. Actually, I'm not sure if I bought 4. And then it's a constant thing until you then flip your statement around to be like, oh wait, no, you're right, I did only buy 2 at the store. It's an example of them wanting you to start believing their reality of what happened in that situation, and them wanting you to feel wrong. Even though you know you're right, when you start second guessing yourself, they're going to make you feel as if though what you thought or what you said is wrong, making you feel like what you had to say is not important. This is where they start calling you crazy, that you're just imagining things, that you're too sensitive. If they are doing any of the examples that I just gave, anything that I have previously stated, these are signs of a extremely unhealthy and toxic person. The best way to not let these things happen to you is to be the master of your emotions. Practice, 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 practice. It brings me back to what I said in the beginning, is killing them with kindness. When you kill these people with kindness, that literally pisses them off. It makes them literally angry. I know, because I've seen it done multiple times with my ex, as well as people around me that I have distanced myself from. When you don't give them that reaction, that negative reaction that they're looking for, that eats away at them. And it's the craziest thing to witness, but these people love negativity. They feed off that negative energy, and it's absolutely disgusting, but they do. I do want to share a quote really stood out to me, and it says, before you diagnose yourself as depressed or being anxious or any type of thing, before you diagnose yourself, take an inventory of the people you're surrounding yourself with. So again, yes, this is so freaking true. Like, it is so true. Me now being single for it's 5 months now, I think. It is so important to really take inventory of who you surround yourself with. It's so freaking important, because if you have these negative people who are doing all these things that I'm talking about in this video and my other video that I posted like 2 weeks ago now, if people are doing this to you, you need to cut them out and run for the hills. These people are not good. No good will come from it. And I know that a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's not that easy because this person and me have been dating for so many years. Like, time, honestly, the quicker you learn that time means absolutely nothing in regards to how long you dated someone, because that's all I'm going to speak on, because that's all I can relate to. Time means absolutely nothing in terms of dating. You can date someone for 4-5 years and get nowhere with that person because they don't want you to get anywhere with them. But then you can break up with that person and literally meet someone and only talk to them for 3 months and feel like you have checked off every little thing. I feel like this is the most important thing that I can tell anyone, is to really do inventory of who's in your life. If the people that are surrounding you are not bringing you joy, you feel like you're really anxious all the time, you're super depressed, you just feel really down and sad when these people come around. They make you feel like you can't talk to them. If you feel like you can't confront them about something without them getting angry, like you're literally like almost bracing yourself, like, oh my God, I'm so scared, or oh my God, I know that their reaction is going to be a negative reaction. Why are these people in your life? Like, just sit back and like ask yourself, because at the end of the day, this is your life, and I feel like you don't owe anyone an explanation on to why you cut these negative people out. And that's all I'm gonna say is, if you have these type of people in your life, I highly suggest nipping that relationship, friendship, whatever it is. It may be a family member, nipping that shit in the freaking butt, because it's not worth it. Your mental health is not worth taking hits from somebody who is in return never going to change and only going to bring you negativity. So that is all I have to say on reactive abuse and gaslighting. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Definitely give this video a thumbs up, share with whoever you think may benefit on hearing these topics and things that I have shared in today's video. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this topic. Let me know if you can relate to anything that I have also shared, because I know a lot of people have messaged me on my other social medias because they've seen my videos. So if you're one of them, thank you so much. The love and support is greatly appreciated, and until next time, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.